For those of you who are having a hard time deciding between the two Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene or the Monogram, hopefully this video will be helpful for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for the love of. Today I want to check out Louis Vuitton and doing comparison between the Damier Ebene versus the Monogram. Now before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help a lot. Now on with the video. For those of us who are lucky enough to have the opportunity to make that Louis Vuitton purchase, whether it is a SLG or a handbag, I think ultimately a lot of collectors get stuck on the question of which print to consider for Louis Vuitton. Would you choose the classic Damier Ebene or the Monogram? I feel like both have their pluses and also their cons associated with it. So in this video, I hope to go over the pros and cons and give you a little history behind the prints itself. Hopefully it'll help you in deciding which print to consider for your next purchase. Now, these two prints are by far the most popular out of all the Louis Vuitton prints. They are seen in their accessories, their clothes, their handbags, their hats, just everything. I can totally understand why most, if not all, handbag lovers will struggle in deciding which print to choose from, especially if it is potentially your first handbag. And with the price increases, I think each of the purchases, we just put more careful thought into each item. So here's a breakdown of these two popular coated canvases, Monogram versus Damier Ebene. Now just briefly going over it, the Monogram canvas is identified with the LV logo printed on it, whereas the Damier Ebene canvas is recognized by like this brown checkered board print. Of course, I think for Louis Vuitton lovers, a lot of people know that the Damier Ebene is actually the first Louis Vuitton print that came first. But I've also heard rumors there's actually a stripe pattern that came before that, and then Damier Ebene came later. And then also the Monogram came about much later after they were trying to find a pattern that will be more counterfeit proof. Unfortunately, I think nowadays almost 99% of Louis Vuitton bags that you would see in the public is usually fake, which kind of defeats the purpose of having the Monogram as a counterproof strategy, which is kind of like sad, I would say. But both of these prints canvas are created from Egyptian cotton, silk screened and coated with vinyl to help them like have that durability and water resistant. So they're quite lightweight and durable. Now let's start off by talking about the Monogram canvas. I love the warm brown colored background that covers this repeated pattern that features the LV monogram and also the alternating 4-petal flower symbols. I think that it looks really nice with the facetta golden tone that you see in the leather that you will often see in the trimmings and also like on the straps itself that it's paired with. Keep in mind that the leather portion, like the cowhide facetta leather, is more, I think it's like a very classic pairing, but you need to be mindful that like it is high maintenance. You have to worry about maybe oils or stains on it, and also at the same time worry about color transfer. But I've seen people really enjoy how the facetta leather kind of honeys and like beautifies over time, and some people don't mind the marks that go on it. It's like beauty marks, and life happens. It tells a story. So some people do enjoy that, and how no two bags are ever the same as a result. And the facetta leather that comes with the Monogram canvas generally becomes softer over time, so it's more comfortable to wear for straps such as the straps that you find in the Neverfull. But let's talk design. I find that the Monogram canvas itself, you really have to like the Louis Vuitton logo to choose this particular print. I mean, this bag calls for attention to stand out because of the design of the Monogram canvas. However, I do find this piece is a little bit better for transition throughout the year from different seasons, not just like specific to winter. And it's a more casual bag, I find. Now let's talk about Damier canvas, like Damier Ebene. It's currently, I think if you just talk about Damier canvas, there's 3 different colorways. There's Louis Vuitton handbags that are Damier Ebene, Damier Azur, and also the Damier Graphite. that you see more in the men's collection. There's also like many different reiterations of it, which I won't focus on in this video. But for this particular type of canvas, you don't really have to worry so much about color transfer. But I do find the con is that Damier canvases, particular Damier Ebene, is more suited for winter, but it is more hassle-free. The Damier Ebene is usually paired with a treated leather, so it's more hassle-free. You don't have to worry about oil transfers. Just overall easier bag. Okay, so now that I've kind of gone a brief overview of these two different types of canvases, what are the biggest difference you will see between these two bags? I mean, they're both very traditional patterns that you'll recognize instantly with Louis Vuitton. I know that the Damier Ebene, even with the checker pattern, I know it's not as logo heavy, but like I think because Louis Vuitton has really like done a great job marketing itself, like it is a instantly recognizable luxury handbag. I do find the Damier Ebene very durable out of the two. The leather, because it's dyed brown and sealed and gloss, so it protects it from any oils and elements and can be easily worn repeatedly. I do find the leather a little bit stiffer compared to the Vachetta. Maybe a more understated print, but I'm not really sure. It's still a highly recognized print. Some people do find the checkered print is a little bit classier. It is, however, bottom line to remember, it is the OG compared to the Monogram, which a lot of people often mistaken as the original heritage print. Because after all, if you check out the Louis Vuitton website, it's like plastered with the Monogram print for all of this SLGs and handbags and such. I totally get that. But the Damier canvas is older. It was created in 1888, whereas the Monogram canvas came around 1896. So which is more durable? Both the Monogram and Damier prints are coated with canvases, so they're not leather, which a lot of people assume somehow that they're leather, but totally get where that comes from, because if you're paying that price for a handbag, somehow I would expect that's leather, but it's actually not. The coating provides a protective layer that protects your bag from minor scratches and the minor water damage that can happen. I do find that the Damier Ebene is a little bit more durable and less likely to generate wear and tear compared to the Monogram canvas, especially when the Monogram canvas is paired with like the beige colored leather with the Vachetta leather trims, because it is lighter color, it's more susceptible to staining. Which is more iconic? Of course, I think both designs are like easily relatable to Louis Vuitton and its heritage. If you're looking for a bag that's a statement piece, I think hands down Monogram for sure. It's so impactful. It has like the Louis Vuitton Monogram logo on it. And anybody who's not like in for the fashion world will recognize that LV Monogram. Where I feel the canvas for Damier Ebene is well known, classic, but it's not as in your face. Maybe a little bit more minimalistic. So at the end of the day, would you choose Monogram versus the Damier Ebene? Which would you choose? I think any bag created from both of these prints is definitely a bag that is worth investing in this time, because after all, like as you are seeing the price increases with a lot of the Louis Vuitton bags, I think the increase is even more significant for some of the canvas bags, and like I find the inventory is not as steady as opposed to leather versions that you're seeing from Louis Vuitton. For handbags, I see even in the resale market, the Louis Vuitton Monogram and also the Damier Ebene monograms actually have pretty good resale value and retains its value pretty well. So I think at the end of the day, it really depends on your style and your preferences. I think they're both very iconic, timeless prints. They give off like different vibes and have a solid place in any handbag lover's collection. You will have to decide for yourself. But for those of you who are having a hard time deciding between these two prints, I hope this video will provide you some insight with like pros and cons related to each one, especially with the history. Perhaps that will speak to you specifically as well. And I would love to start a conversation below in the comments below if you have personal experience on how you decide between these two different prints. And also, please let me know which is your favorite. I wonder if it's just me, but like I find that I see a lot of more Monogram canvas for Louis Vuitton handbags in America as opposed to Damier Ebene, or perhaps it's just because the print is that much more recognizable and more iconic. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on another mommy review, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.